Hello friends, and welcome back. If the cars interrupt, I apologize, but they are alive and well. This is chapter 4, section 1 of chapter 4 of my book, The Rebel. Chapter 4 is called The Plan. So here we are. You've bit the bullet. Called out your status, embraced those shifty tides. Then you took it further and took that step into the unknown. Felt the sting of loss. And now it's time to make your plan. Will you stay or will you go? Are you ready to take it to the next level? For as I'm sure you're now aware, standing still is but a myth. You either choose to resist or are swept away by the tide. What does this look like? Taking the next step? Embracing true resistance? I'm glad you asked. For some examples, let's begin by looking back into our main text. The parable of the prodigal son. Looking back at this tale of Jesus, we see a beautiful example of this resistance. The prodigal son is sitting in a pile of poo, feeding the pigs. An image of contempt for the Jews of the day. In the story, we hear how desperate the boy truly is. He is jealous even of the slop that the pigs are enjoying. That which he is pouring out for them to eat. He'd love to have just a spoonful. And then it dawns on him. He is here, hungry to the point of jealousy, towards the most culturally disgusting animals. And he recalls, even the servants on his dad's estate have more than enough to eat. I'll go back. Now this move could be said to be the point of failure of the boy. The point where he turns tail, where he gives up on his resistance. However, I believe it is again Bruin who brings an alternative to this reading. In fact, I'd say it's just a reminder of what's already in the text. The boy decides to go home. Rather, he decides to go back. Not to take up his former position as privileged son and heir of the estate, but rather as an honest worker, as a servant. This, I contend, is the greatest move of resistance. A return to the places of old, but in a new way. A return, but with a plan to openly face that which troubles him, namely the reality of the huge damage that his father's estate is doing to the world. Precisely by holding back wealth and turning a blind eye to the suffering. Perhaps he realizes that he can create real change by facing his father and calling him out face to face. Of course, there is another reason for the boy to stay out in the wilderness. And this reason is the comfort of meaning. He is most likely feeling like he deserves to suffer, that he's a piece of crap. He took a risk and it didn't turn out well, so he needs to eat his own pudding. This is the structure of meaning at work. Even though it demands his own discomfort, it does allow for a sort of comfort at the same time. The reassurance that life is meaningful. The boy doesn't listen to this though either. He pushes back against this idea and chooses resistance. He stands up, shakes the shit off his boots, and heads home. Dad, I'm coming over. It's time to change the world.